Alright everyone, welcome to the Happiness Channel. I'm Dominic. Today's video is titled Love Yourself. Alright, now that doesn't mean I'm going to tell you how much I love myself because I'm some sort of wannabe kind of gangster or wannabe playboy or something like that. It's not that I love myself in that way. What I want you to try and think about is the relationship you have with yourself. Alright, now relationships are really important in general. They really contribute to our happiness. So, like if you're in a happy marriage, or if, you've got a good relationship with your kids or your parents, or your siblings, then generally you're going to be in quite a happy place, certainly in terms of relationships anyway. Something that we don't tend to really think about a lot of the time is the relationship we have with ourselves. And what I mean by that is the thoughts and feelings you have towards yourself, the way you communicate towards yourself, and the way you talk to yourself even. All right, now in my book that I've written, World Class Happiness by Dominic King, by me, there is actually a chapter in that called Love Yourself. There you go. So in there, I kind of explain about myself really, and how I kind of grew to love myself more as I got older. All right, but I think a lot of the time people are looking for external things to make them happy, whether it be money, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a new house or a new car, or when I go on holiday to this place I'm finally going to be happy. So always looking for something to make them happy. And what they don't realize is that is actually an inner game, and it is themselves that is the thing that is actually ultimately going to make them happy. Now, if you might have sort of quite good relationships with other people, but if you haven't got a good relationship with yourself, it's a lot harder to love somebody else. All right, now what people tend to do wrong a lot of the time is that they look for something to make them happy. So if you're a person who's looking for a new partner, or looking for a new husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, and you've been looking for ages, and you keep picking up different people and you think this is the one, and then you realize in a short amount of time this probably isn't the one, and then you move on, and you keep repeating these same patterns over and over and over. And what you tend to find is that what's happening is you're looking for somebody to make you feel good, because you ultimately aren't making yourself feel good. So what you need to be able to do is to love yourself first. And when you're able to love yourself, then what you can find is that you can love other people, and you don't need that reassurance from them because you're not insecure about yourself. All right, so these things make a huge difference when it comes to relationships and stuff. But how do you love yourself if you really don't? All right, now a way to love yourself, you can't just click your fingers and make yourself love yourself. If you've always had what I would say a poor relationship with yourself, if you don't communicate well with yourself, the way to do that, or one of the ways to do that, is to take better actions. So really there are different ways of doing that. So you can focus on positive things. That's the first thing, which is hopefully going to lead then to focusing on more positive thoughts, which are going to create more positive actions. And then over time you tend to become, because of these actions, you tend to become a more positive person in general. And then when you become a more positive person, and you make all these more positive decisions in your life, whether it be things such as, you're going to eat more healthily, you're going to go to bed on time, you're going to treat people right, you're not going to you're not going to do things right, even to the extent where you're not going to lie to anyone, or you're not going to steal off anyone, things, sort of big things like that. And if you make these decisions that you're going to take a better path and you're going to take better actions, then gradually what you'll find is you do start to like the person who looks back at you in the mirror. And you can do that by kind of by kind of building up these different actions, and over time you build momentum and you start to change your thinking and you start to feel much better about yourself. And that all comes from being honest with yourself to start with. And as you can see behind me, I just caught that in the while I was looking at the phone there, the camera, I just caught that in the background. You can see here I've got the accountability mirror. Now, for those of you who have never heard of David Goggins, you may not necessarily know what that means, but some of you, if you know David Goggins, will really relate to that. And I'll talk about David Goggins in a different video, but his idea for the accountability mirror is that when you look in the mirror, you're not pretending to be somebody else. You are actually being honest. You are taking account of all the decisions that you make and all the actions that you do, and you know, you are accountable for everything that happens in your life, whether it's good or whether it's bad. So basically there's no excuses, and you can gradually, by not making excuses and making better decisions and becoming a better person, you know, you are then creating that person who you can love a lot more, and you can or certainly like more. And then over time, once people then start to see you in a different light, you can then gradually learn to love yourself. And then probably what you're going to do, you're going to attract better, nicer, more loving, caring people into your life. And without even trying, by loving yourself, you're then attracting people who are loving, caring people. And because of that, it then makes your life more positive, and you're focusing then on more positive stuff. You're hearing more positive and real positive talk coming in your direction. It's not kind of people just saying things to make you feel good, or you know, to butter you up to get a promotion or to get sex or whatever it might be. They might just be saying things because they think that's what you want to hear in order to get what they want. But when you start loving yourself, you'll attract more of the right people who will then treat you more correctly, and then when they are telling you that you're a lovely person and you're positive and you're nice, and they talk to you in a good way, in a positive way, you will then start to really honestly believe it, and you won't you won't then try to try and discourage them from thinking that, because you will also believe it, and you'll feel good about yourself too. So I think it's really important, as important as relationships are to our happiness, the person we need to have the most happy relationship with, certainly to begin with, is ourselves. Because what that then does is then lead on to happier relationships with other people, you know, not just partners, but with our family members too. All right, so get the book, read the book. That'll give you a few tips, and obviously take on board what I've said and start working on it. It's not going to happen overnight if you really don't feel as though you like yourself at the moment too much, but gradually over time, remember, focus on positive things first, start then focusing on positive thoughts, make more positive decisions, more positive actions, and gradually that will start to turn, you know, not just your own opinion but other people's opinion, and then you'll attract better people, and then how you start to feel about yourself will become a lot more genuine, a lot more real, and yeah, and that's you'll be in a much better place. So love yourself is the message today. And if you've got any other suggestions on how to love yourself more, or something different, then obviously leave them in the comments. Leave your ideas in the comments, and if you like what we're doing on the channel and what we're talking about, then subscribe.